So, my name is Sean Martin, and I am a health consultant, a health coach for remote sales reps. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's this little thing popping out on my chest right here. On Monday, it's now Friday, but on Monday, I had a health scare and it really shook me up. Shook me up to the point where I genuinely thought I saw my life flash before my eyes, probably at least once, if I'm really thinking back into it, which I don't like to do too much because as I said, I was shook up probably almost twice. And this is really crazy for me because I'm the health guy. I'm the guy people come to for health reasons. Yes, for more performance oriented reasons so they can make more money and feel better. But health is health. Back on Monday, I was having a routine like workout. It was about my first week back in the gym. I was kind of working my way up to it after just kind of I was doing more at home stuff just because of some personal reasons. I was taking some time away from the gym and I came back. I was about a week into it and I was really just moving at a very fast pace during my workout. I mean, I started stretching, then I went to an incline treadmill, warm up my calves, warm up my lower body, get my blood warm. I also wanted to start with some high intensity since I was doing a more heavier workout for my legs. I wanted to get into more high intensity. So I put on some gloves, wrapped up my hands, and I went fucking nuts on a heavy bag, just doing some speed boxing. And then I immediately started going into my working sets for some squats. So I immediately went to the barbell, free barbell, started doing some squats, was focusing on my form, contraction, extension, all of that stuff. And as I said, I was moving at a very fast pace during my workout. And after about my third working set, which was about a plate on each side, I was just going for about 6, 8 reps, really just focusing on strength, adding more and more weight to the bar, progressive overload. For some reason, after that set, my heart started to race faster than I've ever, keyword here, felt before. Now it's interesting because I wear a Whoop, same as all my clients do. And when I look back at the data after a few days ago, my heart rate was only at about 173 BPM, beats per minute, right? I've crossed well over 220 before, exerting myself in a healthy way. I was doing that purposefully. What's interesting was, remember as I said, keyword felt? After that set, my heart was absolutely beating out of my chest, to the point where I begin to get a bit worried. Now, because of my knowledge, because I understand science, I understand how the body and the human mind works, I knew the first thing that I can do to slow my heart rate down was to control my breathing. So I did my deep regulation breathing. I sat down because I was a little bit lightheaded. So I sat down, I just sipped, I didn't gulp down water. I just sipped a little bit of water that I had at the time. And that's a very deep inhales and very long, slow, extended exhales. It was really hard for me to catch my breath. I was this close from asking the guy next to me to call 911. At this point, I wasn't terrified, but I was getting very, very scared. And finally, my heart rate after about 5 or 6 minutes, which is quite a long time, of my hands above my head and just sitting down, my heart was still racing. And although it was coming down, it wasn't coming down fast enough for me to kind of stop worrying. So eventually, about 6, 7 minutes had passed. I started just doing some calf raises because I thought it'd be just a little bit too intense. Again, I wasn't really doing too many rest periods. I was kind of rushing through my workout, which I never do. Looking back, I'm not sure why I was. And then after I did the first leg raise, or excuse me, my little calf raise, I was just short of breath. I knew something wasn't right. So I immediately went into the locker room. I grabbed my stuff. I washed my hands. I got dressed and I left the gym. I came home and I was feeling better, but I just felt drained of energy. About a few minutes later, I was cooking. I always eat after my workout. I was sending a voice note to somebody on Instagram, and about 40 seconds into that voice note, I just felt short of breath again. And that's not like me. I'm very fit, obviously not just externally, but inside. My hormones are optimized. My blood work is all within range. It's actually in exceptional ranges. I feel great. I eat great. My gut is good. I have a clean mind. So this was again very, very sudden to me and quite shook me up. As I was cooking, I realized I still had my wallet in my pocket. So I took my wallet out. I went to go put it in my bedroom. And out of nowhere, again, after I'm not physically exerting myself anywhere, I was merely walking around the house. I was cooking some eggs. My heart started to race again. Even almost like it's almost like you're kind of just cruising in your car and then you decide to step on it. It's almost like what my heart did. And out of nowhere, it just sped up again. And I started to get scared. So the first thing I did was I went outside. I sat down on the front steps, grabbed a little bit of a glass of water as I have here, put my hands over my head again, started controlling my breath, and I waited for my heart rate to come back down again. And at this point, my dad said, "You know what? I don't know what's going on, but like, let's go to the hospital." And at that point, I was like, I think I'm okay, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. So we rushed to the hospital. Needless to say, the hospital's about 30 minutes away. We're doing about 100 miles an hour. We have our four ways on, flashing people in front of us to get the fuck out of the way. And my heart just would not calm down. Mind you, the whole time I had my hands above my head like this, going like this, just really trying to slow my heart rate down. And sometimes it'd slow down and it'd pick right back up. It was very, very weird. As I got to the ER, I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack. I was still short of breath. My heart was absolutely racing, well over probably 130, 140 beats per minute, which usually I'm somewhere around 60. So I almost doubled my heart rate. And then my hands went numb. And looking back now, like in the moment, I thought I was having a heart attack because usually your hands will go numb, right? Circulation's getting cut off. That could be a very bad thing. But when I had my hands above my head so long, looking back now, obviously all that blood was now going into my core, right into my chest area. It was pretty much coming down. So that's why my hands went numb. But I got very scared. So I was rushed into the ER. Generally thought I was having a heart attack. They did an EKG, which is basically looking at the electrical activity within the heart. So where they kind of put the leads on you. Hopefully you've never had that happen to you or had to have that test. But if you are, you know what I'm talking about. And needless to say, I was okay. My blood work, everything came back good. They tested my thyroid. EKG was good, but it showed one thing, and that was that I was in sinus tachycardia, which just means my heart was racing abnormally fast for reasons unknown. Prior, I don't take any supplements. I had maybe about the equivalent of a full glass like this in a coffee cup of caffeine with just a little bit of sugar, half and half, which is a mixture of cream and milk, and just some ground coffee, some Folgers brand coffee grounds. And that was it. I don't take any other stimulants. I had about a glass of water this size prior to the coffee. So I wasn't very well hydrated, probably was a little dehydrated just out of my own stupidity. Um, and I think that might have led to a little bit of the stimulant kind of taking over, but it still would not explain what happened even after the workout when I wasn't physically exerting myself anymore. So that's just to give you the context. As I got there, the doctor basically had told me, again, I was quite mad. I kind of wish I recorded my reaction while I was in the hospital. I was very frustrated, very confused. Again, as somebody who is extremely fit, inside and out, and the data reflects all of that. I was very, very frustrated. I was almost, I wanted to like cry and strangle somebody at the same time. That was the level of frustration I had in the moment. And now, again, I pretty much have this little device over my chest now. It's temporary, so it's only for about 7 days. I got it put on yesterday. That I press a button here if my heart starts to kind of speed up again for any abnormal reason, or if I have a little bit of chest pain, which I never had, or anything like that, shortness of breath. I press the button, it starts recording the activity. But I'm making this video to say, as a health coach, I was very shooken up. I'm even, looking to go talk to somebody professionally. I do have quite a lot going on in my life right now. If I was to try to self-diagnose myself and try to figure out what happened, I think it was a lack of dehydration. Excuse me, I think it was a lack of hydration, so being dehydrated. I think it was pacing through my workout a little bit too fast, not really resting as much as I should have been. I did everything right to bring my breath down, sip water, sit down, be in some cool, fresh air, right? Take deep, slow, extended inhales and exhales. I was doing everything right to calm myself down, bring my heart rate down. And I also just think it was a mix of a lot of things in my head were going on at the time. And I think maybe that had affected something to do with my heart. But again, I'm saying that to say some people might say, Sean, if you're so healthy, if you're this and you're that, and this can happen to you, why should I prioritize my health? Why should I treat it like an asset? Why should I put time into it? My answer to you would be the reward for taking care of your health is one, the way that you'll feel by doing it. You're going to feel the vitality. You're going to feel the strength. You're going to feel the endurance. You're going to feel the clarity. You're going to feel the focus. You're going to feel the energy. You're going to feel better than you ever have before. And obviously, byproducts of doing so are a higher quality of life, a longer quality of life. You'll make more money. You'll be more present, etc., and etc. However, the second, and I would say probably the more important one here, is that God forbid something does happen. If I was overweight, if I was not fit, I probably would have died. And I say that because my heart beat so fast for an extended period of time. There was so much blood circulating in my body, you can't even fathom how much it was. Of course, I didn't bleed or anything like that. But if I was unfit, my cardiovascular system wouldn't have been able to handle that, and I probably would have dropped dead. So thank God that I am fit inside and out. My health is good to the point where now I feel great. I have this little monitor on just to see if anything does come up, and we monitor that in real time. But if something does happen, because your health is your asset, because you prioritize it, not just looking good, but everything else that comes with it, as I said, you have a far likely higher chance, if anything does happen, of pulling through, of being okay. And if, God forbid, you get injured or something does happen, let's say you do need surgery, you do need some kind of serious medical intervention, once again, you have a far higher likelihood of recovering faster, more efficient, and so on and so forth. Now, that might beg the question, if this can happen to you and you're fit, again, why would I want to stay healthy anyways? And it's for that exact reason. I'm not scared to work out. I'm just going to start approaching things in a bit more of a smarter, more sustainable way, even though I was already doing that. So I'm going to make sure before I go to a workout, I'm already extremely hydrated. I'm going to make sure that I'm not pacing myself very fast through a workout, especially one that's strength focused, where typically your rest intervals are higher than if you're just doing a normal hypertrophy or aesthetic focused workout. And just that when your body tells you something, you must listen. Okay. If we ignore things, if things come up and we just kind of push it off, you may get lucky once, you may get lucky a second time, but oftentimes it's what happens later in life that can be caused from these recent events. So I think the best thing to always do, the takeaway from this, is if something like this does happen to you, don't be frantic. Don't freak out. Okay. Just realize what are the things I can do to control what I can control in my life? How can I slow life down a little bit? How can I zoom out? And how can I take the proper steps moving forward to make sure I'm going to be okay? My family is going to be supported, so on and so forth. This is why I don't do energy drinks. This is why I don't do drugs. This is why I look after my sleep because anything can happen to anybody. I'm the fucking health coach. I'm the guy you come to for health. And a little health scare like this shook me up. So I can only imagine if you're somebody that's not healthy, if you're somebody that's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with your health, I can imagine how terrified you'd be. I'm a guy that, not to pride myself, but I'm a pretty tough motherfucker. Like, there's not a lot of things that will move me. I don't get scared easily. When everybody's frantic and chaos in life, I'm quite calm, I'm quite grounded, and I'm proud of that. But even things like this can really, really shake you up. And when there was a moment when my life literally flashed before my eyes, I had that thought like, is this the end? Is this how I'm going now at 23 years old? And I honestly had a bit of peace in that moment, as crazy as it might sound. Why? Because I'm doing something with my life. I'm proud of the man that I am. I'm proud of where I'm going in life. I'm proud of the impact I've made on other people's lives and the impact that they've had on other people's lives as far as clients, content, things of that sort. And I stand for something. I've impacted people. I'm somewhat well known in certain communities and among certain people and people in real life and the sort. And things like this can just really shake you up and they can kind of really throw you off your drift. It's say, hey, if this can happen to me, fuck it. I'm not taking care of my health anymore. And that would make you very ignorant and very stupid and make you like everybody else. This is not going to cause me to stop anything. This is just gonna, if anything, heighten my awareness in myself. It's going to make me wanna take a more slow, yet sustainable and consistent approach to a lot more things that I do in life. And always, again, just have that awareness, be in tune with my body, be in tune with my mind. Always prioritize safety and sustainability over how can I do this fast and just get it done to get it done. I don't wanna live my life that way. So if you're really still watching this, I appreciate you. That means we genuinely resonate on a deep level. And I really, 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 really do appreciate you for this. Um, I guess I'll keep you guys updated on kind of what happens. I think everything will be okay, but I'm really, really shook up. Um, and I wanted to make this YouTube video to just share what I'm going through. Yes, I have a service that I sell. Yes, I run my own business, but I'm a human. And this channel is also meant to document my story. And I don't just want to show all the good times in life. I want to show the times where I'm a bit shook up. I'm kind of scared in my mind. Sometimes I go to sleep at night and I hear my heart beat normally, nothing's wrong. And just because of that experience, I kind of think about it and I almost go into a trance myself. And I just really get shooken up. It's not easy. I know, healing does come with time, and I'm going to be seeking that professional help to talk to somebody about a lot of different things that are going on in my life. I do think that a lot of this maybe was caused by just a lot of mental overload, even as somebody who really looks after their mind a lot. Um, and my message to you is just to be safe, do things that are sustainable, don't be stupid, don't be ignorant, Get rid of the drugs, get rid of the drinking, get rid of the nicotine, way too much caffeine, the stimulants, the bad supplements without proper testing. Cut those things out and live pure. Be as cliche as it is to sound, you've heard this 32 other times. Live every day like it's your last. Be present in the moment to appreciate what you have. Be grateful for what you have, while being ambitious enough to desire more in life and accomplish your goals and so on and so forth. And just be safe. Take your time and do things in life that are sustainable. And just be aware. Have that awareness. All right. So kind of just a bit of a life update, or kind of just in light of some recent events that are going on. But appreciate you. I even love you. And thank you for watching this video.